Hey everyone, we've all seen that picture, right? The massive oil refinery, all lit up at night, looking like some kind of futuristic city. Well, today, we're going to go behind that iconic image and really dig into the hidden world of brilliant engineering that makes it all tick. When you drive past one of these giant places, it's easy to just see the steel and the steam. But have you ever actually wondered what's going on inside all those pipes and towers? What's the real story there? Okay, let's dive in. So first, we're going to look past the obvious stuff, the giant towers, to really get a handle on what a refinery's core job even is. Because it's not just about moving liquid around. It's about a total, fundamental transformation. It all starts with crude oil. And you got to understand, crude oil isn't one single thing. It's this complex cocktail of different molecules called hydrocarbons. Think of it like a big, jumbled bag of puzzle pieces of all different shapes and sizes. The refinery's mission? To expertly sort every single one of those pieces, clean them up, and then reassemble them into the valuable things we use every single day. You can really boil this whole complicated process down to three big steps. First, there's separation. That's where they sort all those different puzzle pieces by their size and weight. Then comes treatment, which is all about purifying those separated parts, getting all the nasty stuff out. And finally, transformation. And this is where the real magic happens, where molecules are literally cracked apart and rebuilt to create high-value products like gasoline. But here's the thing. These steps don't just happen in a straight line, one after the other. No, the true genius of a refinery is how everything works together. It's really less like an assembly line and way more like a perfectly rehearsed orchestra. And this quote just nails it. A refinery is an engineering symphony. Every single process, physical, chemical, you name it, is completely interconnected. Each part has to play its note at the exact right time because every single unit depends on all the others. It's this finely tuned system where everything flows in perfect harmony. Now, what's so fascinating about this symphony is that the instruments you can actually see, those massive towering distillation columns, they're just part of the story. They're the stars of the show for sure. But the true genius, the thing that makes the whole performance possible, comes from a whole supporting cast of crucial units working behind the scenes. So let's pull back the curtain and give these unsung heroes their moment in the spotlight. These are the units that don't actually make the final product you put in your car, but without them, the entire refinery would grind to a dead stop. So we're going to meet 6 of these key players. The unit that makes the ultimate cleaning agent, a duo that handles a really dangerous gas, what is basically the refinery's beating heart, its environmental conscience, and of course, the final guardians of quality. First up, the hydrogen production unit. Hydrogen is absolutely essential for purifying fuel. It's what removes impurities like sulfur. Think of it as the ultimate industrial strength soap. Without a constant, pure supply of hydrogen, the refinery just couldn't make the kind of high-quality, clean-burning fuels that our cars and our environment demand. Next, we have a unit that's a pure problem solver. See, during refining, a really nasty corrosive gas called hydrogen sulfide gets released. And this stuff is bad news. I mean, it can literally eat through multi-million-dollar equipment, and it's terrible for the environment. So, the acid gas treating unit acts like a super specialized filter, grabbing that gas before it can do any harm. And this is where things get really clever. That captured gas doesn't just get thrown away. Oh no, the sulfur recovery unit takes that harmful gas and transforms it into pure, solid sulfur. And guess what? That sulfur is a valuable product they can sell for things like fertilizer. It's a perfect example of the refinery's guiding principle. Nothing gets wasted. Okay, now let's talk about the unit that is, quite literally, the lifeblood of the entire plant, the utilities unit. It is the refinery's beating heart. It's constantly pumping essential electricity, high-pressure steam for heat, and cooling water to every single nook and cranny. If this heart stopped beating, even for a second, the whole symphony would go silent. And of course, being a good neighbor is just as critical. The wastewater treatment unit is like the refinery's conscience. It takes every single drop of water used in all these processes and puts it through this intense cleaning regimen. This makes sure it meets super strict environmental standards before it's either recycled right back into the plant or safely returned to nature. All right, so all these units are humming along, working together to make the products. But how do we know any of it is actually good? Well, that brings us to our final unsung hero, a place where precision is everything. See, quality control in a place like this isn't just a quick check at the end of the line. It is a constant, vigilant process. It starts the second the raw crude oil arrives, it continues with nonstop monitoring as the products flow through all the different units, and it ends with a final, rigorous certification before anything is allowed to leave the facility. And this is so important. For the chemists and the technicians working in the quality control labs, that word quality, it's not just some corporate buzzword. It is a serious pledge. It's a deep responsibility they feel to make sure that the product you end up with is safe, reliable, and meets the absolute highest standards possible. So, after this whole journey behind the scenes, what's the big takeaway? What's the final lesson that this incredibly complex industrial world can teach us? Well, what the refinery really shows us is that success comes from integration, from seeing the whole system, not just the flashy parts. It teaches us about the power of efficiency, where even a waste product can be turned into something valuable. And maybe most importantly, it reminds us that behind every big star of the show, there's a whole hidden world of unsung heroes making it all happen. So the next time you find yourself at the gas station, just take a second. As you're filling up your tank, maybe you'll think about more than just the price. Maybe, just maybe, you'll hear the faint sound of that hidden engineering symphony playing perfectly in tune, all just to make your journey possible. Thanks for digging into this with me.